Hi, my name is Vincent, and today I want to take a look at perimeter word problems. So we have the length of each side of a hexagon is 6 inches less than the length of a side of a square. The perimeter of the hexagon is equal to the perimeter of the square. And now we need to find the length of a side of the hexagon and the length of a side of the square. So now the first thing I'd like to do is get a visual of what's going on in this problem. We have two shapes. So we have a hexagon and we have a square. So I'm going to draw these two shapes first. So now in math, it's always good to get a good visual of what's going on in the problem. So we start off with this drawing, and now we go back to the word problem, and we have the length of each side of a hexagon is 6 inches less than the length of a side of a square. And what that means is if we call one of the sides of the square x, they're telling us that the length of each side of a hexagon, so each of the sides is 6 inches less than the length of a side of a square. Well, remember, in a square, all the sides have the same length, so we could call them all x. So that means one of these sides we could call x minus 6, since each side of the hexagon is 6 inches less, so x minus 6. So now we need to use the second sentence. The perimeter of the hexagon is equal to the perimeter of the square. Well, what that means is, remember, perimeter of any polygon is the sum of the length of all of the sides. So now if each of these sides has a length of x minus 6, then we can represent the perimeter of the hexagon. So we're going to write this as P, and then we'll write a small capital H. So the perimeter of the hexagon equals x minus 6 plus x minus 6. We could add it up 6 times, or we could just say x minus 6 times 6, because there's 6 of them. So now we can distribute, and we have that the perimeter of the hexagon is equal to 6 times x is 6x. 6 times minus 6 is negative 36. And now we could represent the perimeter of the square in terms of x. So we have the perimeter of the square is equal to, well, we could do x plus x plus x plus x is 4x, or we could have just said 4 times x. So we have the perimeter of the square is 4x. So now we know that the perimeter of the hexagon is equal to the perimeter of the square. So what that allows us to do is we could set these two quantities equal. That is, we could set up 6x minus 36, and we could set that equal to 4x. So now to solve for x, this is just a single variable equation, so we're just going to subtract 4x from both sides. And now 4x minus 4x will cancel, so on the right hand side we have this equation is equal to 0. And now 6x minus 4x is 2x. So we have 2x minus 36 is equal to 0. And now to solve for x, we're going to add 36 to both sides. So now minus 36 plus 36 will cancel, and we have 2x is equal to 36. And now to solve for x, all we're going to do is divide both sides of this equation by 2. And now 2 divided by 2 will cancel, and we have x is equal to 36 divided by 2, so we have x is equal to 18. But now remember, this problem was in inches, so we have x equals 18, but we're going to write the length of each side of the square is 18 inches. So this is one part of our answer, 18 inches for the length of the side of the square. And now the length of the side of the hexagon would be x minus 6. So now we're just going to plug in x equals 18, and we have 18 minus 6 equals 12. So each of these sides have a length of 12 inches, since they are 6 inches less than the length of the side of the square. And now we could even check the perimeter of the hexagon. Remember, there's 6 sides, and they're all 12 inches. So we have 6 times 12 inches is 72 inches. Remember, all we're doing is 12 inches times 6. And this is 72 inches. This is for the perimeter of the hexagon. And now if we look at the perimeter of the square, we have that the perimeter of the square is equal to 4 times 18 inches. So we have the perimeter of the square is also equal to, we have 72 inches. So these values do in fact check out and make all of the problem, each part of the problem checks out when we plug in 12 inches for the side of the hexagon and 18 inches for the side of the square. So we'll just start off our answers. Okay, well, this is going to conclude this perimeter word problem. Thank you all for watching, and I hope this video was helpful.